start with something that you're passionate about and do a very critical assessment of yourself, what you're good at, and surround yourself with people who will challenge you as well as compliment you.
Ramesh, let's start off with what it takes to be a daring CEO. You are the CEO of John Keells IT. What does it take to lead a company of that standing that has clients all over the world?
Shahid, I think for me, it just boils down to what you are made out of, right? In terms of driving what you're passionate about. So, in whatever things that I have aspired to do, I've always looked at what is that you would want to kind of set as a trend in the industry, so that you have created a point of inflection. I think that is where then people gravitate towards you. Customers also then look up to in terms of that entrepreneurial ability, in terms of really driving change. It's about what is the kind of path that you would want to leave behind, which had not been trodden before.
And in your role, when you're looking at the future right now, in terms of tech transformation, what do you see? What are those forces? What are those things that will set the tone, will possibly be at the heart of what we will create in the future?
So, Shamil, I think we've seen evolution of change, which I would probably kind of compartmentalize into about 3 waves. The first wave was the mainframes and the centralization of technology in terms of in compute. Then the second wave was more like the client server, the distributed computing. And today we are talking about the third wave, which is more kind of known as the social, mobile, IoT, cloud, the entire gamut of the platforms, right? So today, if you look at, people can leverage technology without building those themselves, because it is pervasively available. So it's about the utility value. No one goes and builds a power plant to consume electricity, right? So today, if you want to really tap into the potential of tech, you don't have to build everything from scratch. So that's the benefit that evolution has brought. And today, I think we are at the brim of that change. People really have not come to terms with the potential that platform presents to themselves. So I think this is where, if you look at the entire startup ecosystem, the entrepreneurial guys are able to flourish because they see the potential and the opportunity, which the traditional players are not seeing. You give a kid a box of Lego toys, what they would build would be different, right? So that is their ability to imagine what they could do with the set of Lego blocks that they would have. And so today, technology is similar to I would think it's like it's a box of Legos. What can you do with it? Anything.
While this is the framework around which companies and even individuals must potentially work in the future, I mean, if you look at what's happened in the recent past with the coronavirus pandemic, this seems to have accelerated the tech adoption. Will there be a lasting impact of the pandemic on technology, and what do you think that impact is likely to be?
Pandemic actually had really forced a step change which was long overdue from a technology adoption point of view, right? So today, you imagine an average day of ours would be that we would spend 4 hours on the road, right, to just be productive in office for maybe 6 to 8 hours. So today, pandemic has rewritten a lot of rules that which were archaic anyway, right? So today, I think it has forced upon and brought upon a platform where people are really leveraging technology in all spheres of the activities. So I feel a lot of these, in terms of what positively impacting our society, would remain. And I think that should be the case, because I think it will really exponentially increase inclusive growth for everyone, right? So today there are no barriers for anyone to participate in the economy the moment you flip to digital, right? It's purely access to internet, your access to your platform, and you don't have to spend huge amounts in capex. You could pay as you go. So that is the equalizer, I would think, for everyone to participate on an inclusive growth for the country.
Ramesh, let's talk about leadership again for a few more minutes. A leader has to juggle or prioritize around many different areas. They have to be visionary and also be focused on execution at the same time. My question to you is more practical. How do you, as a leader, for instance, manage to juggle the responsibilities, priorities, etc., to keep your eye on the long term, but also be making sure that you're managing to execute?
I always say the simple things in life is you got to choose what really that you would want to focus upon. And I always say the Pareto principle, even to date, holds good. So if you can choose 20%, which creates 80% of the impact that you need to focus upon, whatever it is, I think then you will be impactful as a person, let alone whether you're a leader or not, right? So I think that is my mantra, and that is where you also need to have a capable team which is also doing the same thing. So that's why I always say you got to build a team which challenges you, at the same time complements you. Because you won't be good at everything. That team which would make you successful. Right? So as a leader, you got to always build a team which challenges you as well as complements you, and which then is a mantra for you to kind of balance whatever roles that you're playing, because you know that just because you take eye off the ball, that there are others who are covering you as well.